Hi everyone, welcome to Gentle Yoga class. Welcome to it. Just to make sure that you've got plenty of space to practice in with no obstacles, and also that if you come into any postures that bring you any pain or a serious back out of them, just take a lie down, take a child's pose, or just a sit in a comfortable seated position if you're ready to in again. So today's class will be fairly gentle, but just take any time you need it. Okay, so we'll start. Put the music on in a seat. Sit in a cross-legged position if that's if you can take your leg out of you or having it slightly bent, just whatever feels for you today. Like cross-legged position, because it just allows me to sit on my nice and just have somewhere to rest my hand. So we can start here. Wherever you are, what we'll do is we'll just remove any flesh from underneath our sit bones. Again, that will allow us to really ground down and sit. And close the eyes or lower the gaze. And just start to focus on just being comfortable in this position. So if you need to make any movements or adjustments or scratch any itches, just do that. Take a few moments to do whatever you need to do. And if any thoughts come into your mind, just acknowledge them and then just let them float away. And you may have to do this a few times, but just acknowledge them and let them float away. And then when you're feeling comfortable in this spot, simply turn your focus to your breath. Just your natural breath. So it flows in and out of the body. So focusing on the breath allows us to be in the present moment. It just helps take our attention away from any of those thoughts that might be trying to get in. You might even want to place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly to just tune into the body and feel the rise and fall of the body as you breathe. Belly should rise into your hand as you inhale and fall as you exhale. And then see if you can make your breath a little bit longer and smoother. Maybe making your exhales just a few counts longer than your inhales. And then staying with that breath, but gently opening the eyes. You can release the hands. And we'll just take a stretch. So we'll inhale our arms all the way up. We'll clasp our fingers together and then turn the palms upwards. Nice big stretch. And then slowly release as you inhale. Great. Then you can bring your hands to your knees or have them just down by your side. And we'll start by just waking up in the shoulders. Just rolling them one way and then the other. And then move into the neck. So maybe start by just making that semicircle of swooping the nose from shoulder to shoulder. And when you feel like neck's woken up a little, you can take them full circle in both directions. And then head back to center. We'll come into our hip circles. So sitting up nice and tall, either with your hands on your knees, or if you're sat with your legs out, just rest your fingertips on the mat beside you. And start to just move the body. One way and then the other. And it's up to you. You can make these quite deep, where your chest comes all the way down, or you can make them a bit more isolated and just kind of make circles on the spot. Maybe a combination of both. Lovely. Then you can cross the legs the opposite way. I'm going to walk out the hands. So if you've got your legs out in front of you, just walk your fingers down the sides of your legs. But we'll just start to reach our hands forward. And we need to make sure we're not tipping out of our seat. If you start to tip out of your seat, just walk back a little. And then when you feel you're at a comfortable place to plant your hands, just plant your hands. And the aim, so we're not kind of curled up in a ball here. The spine's still nice and long. It's just kind of folding from the hips. When you get to a place where you can comfortably just put your hands down, and that may be here today, just depending on how your body's doing today. Wherever you are, just then bow your chin to your chest. Stay with that lovely long breath. And then walking the hands back, across the legs back to the way that they originally were. You've got your legs any other way, we're just going to do the same thing again. Walk the hands forward, and it might feel a bit different on this side. But when you're ready to comfortably plant the hands, just bow the head. Coming on all the way back. Lovely. You can take your right hand and just slide it out to the side. Again, making sure you don't tip out of your seat, but just wherever you can plant your hand, that keeps you firmly grounded into your seat as well. Then you can swoop your left arm up and take that stretch. You can bend in the right elbow if you want to. But really reach for the ceiling on the, not the ceiling, sorry, the wall on the opposite side of you. And then come all the way back. We'll do the same with the left hand. And then swoop that right arm up. Really reach for the wall. Enjoy that stretch all the way from your seat, really, all the way up the side body. And come all the way back. Take your hands behind you, open out your chest. Nice gentle back bend, and you can gaze forwards here or you can take the gaze up and back. And then come back to center. We're going to come into a twist. So we're going to take our arms all the way up in the air. We're going to take our right arm forward, left arm back. And take our gaze, I'm just going to shuffle forward, it's got a wall behind me. Take our gaze back with our left fingers. Then inhale back up to center. Exhale, we'll take it to the opposite side. Lovely. And then send the arms all the way down. So just do a bit of movement with the breath before we come onto into a tabletop position. So let your fingertips graze gently on the mat and then inhale. Really slowly, right to the end of a long inhale. Pause. And then exhale. We're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And again. And exhale. Last time. And exhale. Lovely. Then keeping your fingertips on the mat, just bow your chin to your chest, shoulders down away from the ears. Just come back to that lovely long breath. And then raise the head. Lovely. We'll come into our tabletop position. So come down to all fours. We've got our wrists under our shoulders, knees under our hips. And just start, just kind of let the head hang and just let the hips sway from side to side. Gentle wake up here. Lovely. Then come back to your tabletop and we'll come into cat-cow. So we'll inhale, lower the belly, raise the gaze. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest. Inhale, lower the belly, raise the gaze. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest. And just continue to move with your own breath. Lovely. From here, we're going to come into a child's pose. So we're going to bring the big toes together and take the knees as wide as the mat. If you prefer to child's pose with your knees together for any reason, that's fine. If you can, we'll do a wide knee child's pose today. So sending the hips back towards the heels and just sending those arms and hands out long. And bringing your head to the mat or to any kind of prop, so cushions or maybe some books with a folded blanket over it, anything that raises the floor to you a little further. I'll just come back to that lovely breath here. And then gazing forwards, shift your weight up, walk the knees back in, back to your tabletop. We're going to come into thread the needle. So you're going to inhale your left arm up into the air. Exhale, thread it right through. And again, you can bring your ear to the mat or to a prop, so a block or a couple of cushions. And this supporting hand can stay where it is, or you can take it up into the air, or you can bind it all the way around your back, opening up the shoulder, chest. Then coming out of the posture the way you came in. And just letting the head hang and swaying the hips from side to side before we come onto the opposite side. Lovely. Now we'll raise our right arm all the way into the air. Exhale, thread it through. Again, that supporting hand can stay where it is or come up into the air, or you can bind it around your back. And then coming out of the posture exactly the way you came in. Great. So now we're going to press into the hands and gently, so we're going to draw the navel to the spine, gently hover the knees off the mat. And release. And then you can curl the toes here. And again, hover the knees off the mat. And release. This is preparing to bring us into our downward dog. One more time, really ground those hands, spread those fingers wide, curl those toes, hover the knees up. And release. And then we'll finally come into our downward dog. So we'll lift those knees and then send the hips high and back. So here you can bend in the knees, and walk out the feet. And then when you're ready, come to stillness. So you press that chest towards the thighs. Let the head hang, gaze between the legs. Just feel those hips lifted high. Breathing here. For 3, 2, 1. Looking forward as you drop the knees, and then with the knees together, send your hips back towards child's pose. Bow the head here. And then looking forward, you're going to shift your weight forward until you're on your belly. We're in a kind of upward dog position, but our legs are on the mat very firmly. And then on the next breath, we'll press into the hands, come back to our child's pose. And then all the way over. And all the way back. So we'll do this movement with the breath. From child's pose to our upward dog position. Just a few times. And then on the last time we do it, we'll curl the toes so that when we get back to our child's pose position, we're giving the back of the feet, the bottom of the feet, a nice stretch. And stay here. And we'll come back to our tabletop and send the hips high and back. Back into our downward dog. Lovely. Looking forward, you're going to step, and you can do this through tabletop if you come down to the knees and step your foot up that way, please do. But if you want to do it from here, downward dog, you look forward and step that right foot between the hands. So we're in our lunge. And some of you might want to keep your knee off the ground. Some of you might prefer to lower your knee. Either way is absolutely fine. But from here, we're going to come up onto our fingertips, and our shoulders are down away from the ears, gazing forward. Lovely. Then you're going to plant your left hand into the mat, send the right arm up into the air. And maybe back. And then swoop it back to the mat. From here, you're going to walk the hands back, straighten that front leg. And then inhale to lengthen, exhale, bow. Again, if you need blocks or books or cushions here to bring the floor a little bit further to you, then feel free to use them. And roll back onto your foot. You'll walk that foot out the edge of the mat, and then the right hand comes into the middle of them. You might want to send that left leg back. So, not a lizard pose. So again, you want to come up onto your fingertips, shoulders down away from the ears, nice and tall. So staying here is option 1. Option 2 is to peel open that foot as if you were opening a book. And just enjoy that stretch, the inner thigh, and around the hips. Next option is to plant the left hand, bring the right hand to the knee, and a gentle twist. And then final option, if you want to, is to take the arm up and back again. And then bring it back. Plant your hands, swoop that leg all the way back and behind you. Lift it, lift the heel as high as you can. And then come back to your tabletop. Pull, bow the head, bump the hips from side to side. So we're going to do that all on the opposite side. We'll start by spreading those fingers, curling the toes, sending the hips high and back into your downward dog. And then looking forward, again coming through tabletop if that helps. Stepping the left foot forward into your lunge. Again, keep that leg if you want to, otherwise drop the knee. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears, come up into your fingertips. And then plant that right hand. Lift that left arm up, maybe even send it back. Bring it back, straighten that leg. Start to walk the hands backwards. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bow. Roll back onto your foot. Bring your left hand and right hand next to each other on the mat. So the left hand in the center of the mat. Walk your left foot out to the edge of the mat. So here we're back in lizard. You can stay up like this. You can peel it left. You can plant the right hand. Bring your left hand to the knee. Once again, you can lift that arm and send it back, reaching those fingers. Lovely. Coming all the way back. Smooth that leg back. Send the heel high. And then back to your tabletop. And back to downward dog. Or sorry, I keep saying downward dog instead of child's pose. Back to child's pose. You want to slide your hands back so your arms down beside your legs. And then gazing forward, slide your hands back to tabletop. From here, we're going to curl feet. Spread those fingers wide. We're going to come back to downward dog. Walking it out. Into stillness. And then you can either crisscross your feet, walk your feet to your hands, or you can simply just step one foot and then the other up to meet your hands. And we'll take a forward fold here, and you can really generously bend in the knees here and just let the head hang. And even if your forward fold looks more like this, that's fine. Just want your spine nice and long, keep the neck nice and long, and just gaze at the mat. That bend in the knee might help you just come down a little bit lower. You don't need to rest your fingertips on the mat. You can bring them to the backs of your legs. So wherever feels most comfortable for you. Wherever you are, you might just want to take a little rock back and forth. And then ground into the feet. Come all the way up. Palms meet. Take a gentle back bend here. Before bringing the hands back down in prayer. So from here, we'll bring the hands back into prayer at the heart. We'll just take that grip with our first fingers and grounding into the feet. We'll send our arms up towards the sky. We'll inhale, and then as we exhale, we'll take a stretch to the right. Back through center, to the left, back through center, exhale, hands down, arms down by side, palms facing forward. Take the feet so they are hip width apart. Just going to come into mountain pose. So with the hands down by your side, the tailbones tucked in, shoulders are down away from the ears. Feeling a lift in the crown of the head, but you're also feeling really grounded into the mat. Just tune into the body. Notice anywhere you might still be feeling any tightness or tension, and just send your breath to those areas. Nice long exhale through the nose. And then relax everything, give the body a shake. Bring your arms around behind your back. You can clasp your fingers here, or you can just take hold of opposite elbows like this, whatever feels most comfy. If you've got your hands clasped, you're going to open out the chest, straighten the arms, and we'll take the feet as wide as the mat. And from here, we're just simply going to fold the hips. And again, if you get halfway, that's absolutely fine. You can come down a little further. If you want to take a little bend in the knee here, please do. Just open out in the chest and the shoulders. Again, you might want to take a little sway from side to side. And then release the arms, give them a shake. And then ground in the feet. Come back up to standing. Exhale. Hands to prayer. Bring the feet together. Lovely. So from here, you're going to step your right foot out to the side. Step your left foot a little bit further back. So you're going to take a bend in the right knee. And if the ankle comes out further, if the knee comes out further than the ankle, you need to widen your stance a little bit. The knee should just fall just above your ankle. Pressing into the outer edge of your left foot for balance and support. You're going to take both arms up into a T shape. Gaze over your right fingers. See if you can take that bend in the knee a little bit further. And warrior two, nice and strong. And then straighten that leg and bring the hands to meet overhead. And then exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Then flip that right palm. Swoop it up and overhead. That left hand can come gently to rest on the leg. Just gaze up if you can. If not, just gaze out to the side. And then back to your warrior two. You're going to spin on that back foot. And as you do, you're just going to come down to your lunge. And you can drop the knee here if you want to. Lovely. So shoulders down away from ears. Gazing forward. Then you're going to curl the toes. And you're going to come up onto your toes and just walk the hands over to the opposite side. Drop that knee. Just hold tall in your lunge here. Lovely. Then you're going to curl the toes again. And you're going to come up. Bring the hands to center. Forward fold. Again, if your fold is here, that's absolutely fine. And then bring the hands to the lower back. Come all the way up. Send those left toes out. Right toes in. We're going to come back to warrior two. Inhale, send the hands up. Exhale. Bend the knee. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend the knee. And flick that left palm, swoop it up and back. Take the gaze with it, or you can just keep your gaze up to the side. And then spinning that back foot, cartwheel your hands down. Back to your tabletop. From here, you're going to shift your weight all the way onto your front and come down to your belly. Taking the hands wider than the mat. Bring your forehead to the mat. Inhale, up. Exhale, wave it on down. Inhale, up. Exhale, wave it down. Inhale, up. Wave it on down. Lovely. From here, you're going to make a triangle with your forearms. Clasp the fingers and hands together and press them up and out of the forearms. You're going to slide that right leg, bend the knee, it's up and out to the side. And just gaze forward. And then release. And take that left hand and just put it kind of down next to you, palm flat on the mat as support. Send the right arm out long and use the left hand as a bit of a lever that helps you roll onto your side. Now if that's too much of a shoulder stretch, you can roll a little bit further back in so it's not as intense. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can take that left foot and step it behind you. And then back to center. Hands under the shoulders, elbows pointing backwards. Inhale up into cobra. Exhale, take it down. Make that triangle with your forearms. Press up and out of your forearms and bend that left knee and send the knee up and out to your side. And then send it back down again. Use that right hand as support, send the left arm out to your side. And then we're going to head to the mat first. Use that right hand as a lever to roll you onto your side. And then back out of it slightly if you need to, or you can bend that right knee and step that right foot behind you. And then come on back. Hands under shoulders, elbows pointing backwards. Come up into your cobra. Lower on down. Curl those toes. Bring yourself back to tabletop, and we're going to come down onto our backs, finally. So coming all the way down. We're just going to start by bending the knees and bringing the soles of the feet together, opening the knees out to the side, resting the hands on the belly, and just finding that lovely, long, smooth breath again. This is probably one of the most energetic, gentle classes, but nice to just push it a little bit further sometimes, just to give us that boost of energy and all the good stuff at a time when we need it the most. And then draw the knees together. Loosen the left leg out long and just hug that right knee in. And then releasing the left hand, you're going to use the right hand to just draw it out to the side. Keep gazing up at the ceiling. And then release the right hand, reach over with the left hand and draw that knee over the body. And if you can, keep your gaze to the right. If not, just gaze up at the ceiling. And then come back to center, hug that left knee in, hug both knees. And give the ankles a little rotate here. Then release the right leg, hug the left knee in. Let the right arm go and use the left hand to guide that knee out to the side. And then reach over the right hand, draw it over the body. Take your gaze to the left. Back to center. Bring the knees up to about kind of arm's length away. And then you can either keep the hands on the knees or you can just let the arms drop. I'm just going to make circles with the knees together. You can engage your core here. reverse direction. And then drop the feet to the mat, walking the heels in a little bit further towards you and bring the hands down by the side of the body. You might even be able to kind of just gently touch your heels with your fingertips, but that's not a goal. You just might be able to. So from here, you can take a gentle pelvic rock. I'm moving my lower body slightly off the mat. You don't even have to do that. Could just be very gentle rocking movement. If you prefer to come up into a bridge, then heel the hips all the way up. You might even want to clasp the hands underneath the back and kind of nestle the shoulder blades in. Holding here for 3, 2, 1, and very gently, slowly release. That's great. You're going to cross your left ankle over the right knee and draw that knee away from you. You can use your hand to gently guide it, but we're not pushing or straining here. And another option here is to just take a gentle rock from side to side. So you can just stay here doing this, giving your tailbone a nice massage, or you can come to the next step, which is lifting that right foot off the mat, flexing both feet, and either staying completely still and just holding that pose, or continuing that rock from side to side. Then the next option from there is to reach through, clasp behind the thigh, or even over the shin. Draw that thigh in towards you. And if you want to, just take a gentle rock. And gently releasing, go take the opposite ankle over the opposite knee. Same again, draw that knee out, and you might want to take gentle rock from side to side. Let me lift that left foot, flex the feet. You might want to reach behind the thigh or over the shin. And then just slowly release. And just take whatever posture you think you might need before we come into our relaxation. So that might be hugging the knees into the chest again. It might be another bridge. It might be a full body stretch. Just respond to whatever you think your body might need just before you come down to the mat. And then whenever you're ready, just extend the legs. Arms down by your sides, palm facing upwards, let the feet fall out. If it's more comfortable for you to bend the knees and take the feet wide and knock the knees together, then that's great too. Whatever helps you relax. And just completely surrender to the mat. Come back to that inner focus as we Enjoy that long and smooth inhale and exhale with what exhales just a few counts longer than our inhales. Again, just take those few moments to settle in. And then staying where you are, I'll sit up so you can hear me a little bit more clearly, but you stay exactly where you are. And we'll start to focus on each part of the body as it relaxes in our body scan. So starting our focus as the feet, the soles of the feet and the toes relax. Ankles, calves and the shins, the knees and the thighs, the hips and the waist. Lower body is relaxed. Stomach and the chest, shoulders, upper arms and the lower arms, elbows and the wrists, palms of the hands and the fingers and the thumbs, completely relaxed. The lower back and the upper back, the neck, the jaw, cheekbones and the forehead, the eyes in their sockets and the crown of the head, completely relaxed. The whole body is relaxed as you inhale for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you start to come back to awareness, notice the sounds around you and the temperature of the room, and just take some gentle movement with the body. So wiggle your fingers and toes, or take a full body stretch. And in your own time, just make your way up to a comfortable seated position. And gently bow the head. And raise the gaze. Namaste. Thank you for a lovely practice. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you very soon.